Yeah. Hi. Welcome to Practically. We bring learning alive. Yeah. Yeah. So today, I welcome you all for this first session of one shots that we are going to take, and this is a one shot for class 9. I am your biology teacher Preeti, and today I'll be teaching you why do we fall ill. But before going to that, let's see what is the schedule for your upcoming classes. So this is the schedule for your one shots for class 9. This will be starting from today itself, and it will be ending on 24th of February, where we will be covering science and math for you all. The whole chapters, the whole syllabus will be covering for term 2. Then we have sample papers, which will be covered from 25th of Feb to 28th of Feb. In that also we have math and science. And we have coding for class 9. So please attend all of these sessions so that you will get to know what we are going to teach, and it will be very beneficial for you. So now let's begin with today's session. Why do we fall ill? Before understanding why we fall ill, let's understand what health is. Yeah? So what is health? Health is nothing but free from illness. Whenever we are in a state of good health, what does that mean? That means we don't have any illness, we don't have any kind of disease or any kind of physical, we don't lack any kind of physical fitness. So that is nothing but health. So if you want, you can say that health can be defined as state of complete physical, mental and social well-being. Why social? Well, social well-being also includes hi NS Lucky, good evening. Social well-being means we are a social creature. We interact with society. We have lots of friends and even environment. So that is what we say by social well-being. What does mental means? Mental means your mental ability. If someone says bad thing about you or something, they scold you, you feel very bad, correct? So that state is also unhealthy state. So mental health is also very essential. And physical health, so you all know what physical health is, correct? Physical health means your fitness. So if you are doing exercise on a daily basis, you will have a physical health. So that is what it means by being healthy. Okay. So let's see. There is personal health. What does personal health means? See, there are basically two categories of health. There is personal health and there is community health. We will see about community health in our next slide. But let's talk about personal health now. See, there are basically five main aspects for personal health. Again, there is physical health. Then there is emotional state. Why emotional? As I said earlier, if someone is scolding you, you feel very bad about it, correct? You feel very emotional about it. That means you are sensitive, correct? You are sensitive. And being sensitive means you are emotionally very vulnerable. So emotional health also matters. Then there is social. As I told, humans are social animals. We interact with other human beings. We interact with other people. So that is nothing but social. If someone is not talking to you, you feel very bad about it, correct? So that is how your social health also affects. If you are like sitting alone in a corner, in a party or in a get together, then you will be secluded. You will not be interacted with other people. So at that moment, what is the state of your health? What is the state of your mind? That again affects your personal health. Therefore, we have to interact socially also. Then what about spiritual? We go to temple, we go to church, we go to mosque, correct? Why? Because we are so spiritually, we want to be stable. We want to have faith in something. So that is nothing but spiritual. And spiritual helps again in our personal health. Then we have intellectual. What does intellectual means? Intellectual means whatever you are studying, whatever the activities that you perform in your school or in your college, wherever, that is nothing but intellectual. You have to be an intellectual being where you can understand what is good, what is bad. Correct? So that is what intellectual means, and that again affects your personal health. So to attain a personal health, what does a person need? A person needs basic conditions for good personal health are proper balanced diet, nutritious diet. What does that mean? You have to eat healthy. Hi Qwerty, hello, good evening. Welcome to this session. So proper balanced and nutritious diet means what? You have to have a very good kind of diet where you have vegetables, then you have fruits, correct? In your diet. Why? Because we require protein, carbohydrate, then we require vitamins, we require fats. Everything is essential for our well-being. Why? Because this will help to build our physical health. The nutrition that you acquire from food, from balanced diet will help to give you a good physical health. And physical health will help against fighting the different types of diseases that we are facing. Correct? So that is why you need to have a proper and balanced diet. Then what about personal hygiene? You also have to have a personal hygiene, correct? Washing your hands, always cleaning yourself, correct? So that is what is meant by personal hygiene. Whenever you go to any washroom or you want to eat food, you have to first hand wash your hands. Correct? Wash your hands. Then you have to wear a mask wherever you are going in a social gathering. So that includes personal hygiene. You have to bath. You have to take a bath in the morning, correct? Whenever you wake up from your sleep, you take a bath, you brush your teeth. So that is nothing but personal hygiene, and that keeps your health in check. Then what about clean environment and surroundings? You do require clean environment, correct? If suppose, for example, there is dirt everywhere, if there is garbage everywhere around you, what will happen? You will get bad foul smell, correct? And that will affect your mental state and physical health as well. Therefore, clean environment and surrounding is necessary for your personal health. Then you also require healthy air. If there is pollution in the surrounding, like if there is air pollution, if the percentage of CO, what is that? It is carbon monoxide. If the percentage of carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide in the environment is more, what will happen? Hi Mrudula, good evening. Hello Zombie Shot, good evening. So what will happen to you? If you breathe this unhealthy air, what will happen? You will acquire certain diseases, you will acquire certain types of reactions, allergic reactions, correct? Therefore, we require healthy air, which is constituted mostly of oxygen content is good. Oxygen content is good means what? The air is healthy. Whenever you are taking a deep breath of air, you will have a good dose of oxygen. That is nothing but healthy air. Then again, you have to do regular exercise. As I have shown in the earlier image, exercise is very essential to keep your body healthy. If you don't do exercise, what will happen? If you suddenly have to run from one place to another because a dog is running behind you, what will happen? Hi, Rishabh. I am good. How are you? Welcome to this channel. Yeah, so what will happen if a dog is running behind you and if you don't keep up with your physical fitness? You will get cramps. Correct? You will get cramps. You will fall down or something might happen, correct? Therefore, regular exercise to keep you fit and healthy is essential. And proper health. What does proper health means? Good, Rishabh. What does proper health, yes, Mrudula, leg cramps will happen when you start running and if you don't have a physical fitness. Proper rest means you should have 8 to 12 hours of sleep. If you don't sleep for 8 to 12 hours, you will not, hi Kanishk, good evening. You will not feel very good in the morning, correct? You will feel very lethargic. What does lethargic means? You will not have energy throughout the day to carry out your work. You will lose your focus. And to attain a good focused lifestyle, you need to have proper rest. During rest, what happens? Do you know? Can you answer anyone? What happens if you don't have a proper rest? Will your body recover? If something bad is happening to the body, if you are falling ill, or if you fall down, you scratch your knee, what does happen in your sleep? Your body tries to recover from that, tries to recover from its illness. Correct? So sleep is very essential for you. Proper rest is very essential for you. If you don't sleep, your body will not have the process of recovery. So rest is essential. And we have good standard of living. What does that mean again? You have to have a good standard of living, means you have to have proper hygiene, proper food. All these things that we talk comes in good standard of living. Isn't it? So these are the basic conditions to attain a personal health. If you have any questions, you can ask me in this comment box. Okay, I'll try to address them. Yeah. So now let's see, what does community health means. Now we talked about personal health, correct? Now we will be talking about community health. That means the health of community. How should we attain that? See, the health of all the organisms will depend on their surroundings. Correct? Environment. If there is no good environment, it will affect us mentally as well as physically, isn't it? So, to have a good community health or attain good health for all organisms, we have to keep check of our surroundings and our environment. What does environment include? If the environment includes the physical environment, what does that mean? If your surroundings, like I said in earlier example, if your surrounding has lots of garbage thrown around, what will you feel? Can anyone tell me an answer about it? If there is lots of garbage thrown around you, what will you feel? Will you feel good or will you feel bad? Yeah, I'm waiting for your answers. Just say good or bad. No one? Okay, I'll tell. If there is garbage thrown around you, you will feel very bad, correct? There will be bad stench, bad smell will come, correct? The bad odor, exactly Rishabh, we will feel bad. Ha! Kanishk is saying good. Why will you feel good, Kanishk? If there is garbage thrown around you, you will feel good. No. Why? Because you will have a bad smell coming from that garbage, correct? It will affect your nose. With garbage, there comes diseases, different types of diseases. Because garbage is nothing but a material which is thrown out, correct? If it is a wet material, there will be microorganisms surrounding it. And that will be very bad for you, isn't it? You will have different types of diseases because of it. And again, it will be looking bad, correct? It will look very ugly in the environment, and that is not good. Therefore, we have to keep our environment clean. A physical environment, that is a surrounding, decides the social environment. How, you might ask? Correct. Physical environment, let's assume if someone is staying in a slum area. Now, when I talk about slum area, immediately in your mind, there will be an image of gutters, small houses, shanties, correct? So, will you feel good if you stay in that type of region? No, you will not feel good. And that is why our physical environment is decided by our social environment. If you try to clean that area, if you try to clean that all the surroundings, it will look good, isn't it? And that is how physical environment is decided by a social environment. Then again, consider. No, correct, Mrudula, no, yeah. So, as I have told the example of garbage, so this is the same example. If no agency, that means a garbage pickup truck might come in your households to collect all the garbage from your house, correct? If that agency is not taking the garbage or if it is not collecting the garbage, it will be there in your house or it will be there in your surroundings, and then that will cause us very bad effect on our health. And if suppose no one takes responsibility for cleaning the drains, what will happen? The example of drains, what will happen if there is a choked drain near your area? Can you tell me the example? Tell what will happen if there is drainage water all flowing around your area? It will smell bad again, correct? It will smell. It will smell bad. And also, different types of garbage or different types of material, waste material. Exactly, Mrudula. Mosquitoes. Yes, mosquitoes will be there in the surrounding and we may fall ill. Correct, Rishabh? We may fall ill. Yes, zombie, it becomes very dirty. And all this leads to mosquitoes, flies, correct? These are the vectors which we will learn in further slides. These are the vectors. These may cause diseases. Exactly, Mrudula. Mosquitoes feed and the diseases will affect us. And that is why we have to keep our surroundings clean. I hope you understood this part. So now we will have a question based on this. Exactly, Kanishk. Vector-borne diseases will be there. So I am going to post a question in this section, and you guys who are watching, please try to give me an answer. I'll wait for a few minutes. Once I get your answers, I will tell you what my answer is, okay? So think of one change you would wish for in your surroundings in order to avoid any illness. Now we talked about surrounding, correct? We talked about environment and our physical health. So you tell me. Yeah, you tell me the answer because your exams will be subjective based this term, and we want to help you to ensure you that you can write this paper very easily. Therefore, this is a subjective based question. Try to come up with the answer. Cleanliness. Manoj is saying cleanliness. Yeah, pardon my writing. Clean surrounding. Okay, Manoj is saying clean surrounding. Rishabh is saying surrounding should be neat and clean again. Yes. Mrudula is saying sanitation. Then Zombie Shots is saying afforestation to get oxygen. Yes. Yes, we can increase afforestation. Himanshi Gupta, ma'am, we should maintain clean greenery so that mosquito don't breed. Correct? Yes, we should. Chandrahas is saying personal hygiene. Yes. Good hygiene. Yes, that is important. So yeah, all of your points are correct. But when you are writing in a word form, when you are writing subjective base, you cannot write bullet points, correct? Some teachers might give you mark, but it should be formed in a proper sentence. So let's see. In order to prevent myself, because it was wished for in my surrounding. So in order to prevent myself from getting infected, again in the future, I shall keep my surroundings cleaner than the earlier, which all of you have said. And maintain my personal hygiene. Again, all of you had said this point. But whenever you are writing a subjective based question, you have to form proper sentences. Isn't it? So you should form proper sentences while you are writing subjective based questions in biology. Yeah? So this is the answer that I would have written, which you all have given me in points, which is exactly correct answer. Yes? So you should maintain your personal health and you should keep your surroundings cleaner. Well done all of you. So let's move on. What is diseases now? Now we are touching the main subject. We just talked about health. Now what are the diseases? Yeah, diseases in simple terms nothing but disturbed ease. Ease means what? Ease is nothing but Whatever you are feeling at the moment is ease. If you don't have ease, if your ease is disturbed, that means you are having disease. If my body, if my physical well-being is affected, in literal words, uncomfortable. Correct? If my physical well-being is affected, if my mental, correct? Kanishk, yes, our comfort. Yes, Himanshi. The state when normal functioning of body is disturbed. Exactly. That is what is meant by disease. Being diseased is same as being not healthy. Yes? Whenever my physical, my mental or my social well-being is hampered, I will be disturbed, and that is nothing but disease. My state will go from healthy to disease. Zombie shots COVID. Yes, COVID is a disease. Yes. Because of that, many people are affected. Even we are affected, isn't it? So COVID is a part of disease. We will touch that part in our latest slides. Yeah, I'll explain to you what that is. So, if you are falling ill with fever, yeah, cough, cold, this is nothing but disease. Your body goes from healthy to a disease state. If I am emotionally, not happy, that also means I am diseased, correct? Yes, Chandrahas, we will also see about HIV. Yeah. Yes, we will be studying a bit about HIV. So emotionally also, and socially, as I have told you, some people are very socially awkward. That means they don't interact much. Their mental state again is not healthy, correct? They will feel something bad about themselves. So that is also a diseased state. So there are different causes. Yes, there are different causes of diseases. What are those? We will see. It can be divided into two classes. Yes. External cause. What does external cause means? If a disease, if something is happening to you by external means what? It is not present in our body, but something in the environment is affecting us, isn't it? Caused due to external factors like microbes. We talked about it, right? If there is a garbage thrown, there will be mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will carry what? They will carry microbes like bacteria, protozoa, then worms. Worms are present in soil. If there is bad environment, if there is garbage thrown around, worms will also be there in the soil. And if you are playing in the soil, what will happen? Yes, Kanish, pathogens. Chandrahas is talking about dengue, malaria. Yes, these are all the diseases. These are all the diseases that can be caused by external cause because these are caused by microorganisms. Yes, intrinsic and extrinsic factors. Himanshi, correct. So external is it intrinsic or extrinsic? It is extrinsic because it is external, outside of the body. Then we have internal cause. Internal cause means what? It is coming from within your body. It is coming within your body, from your body. Does that include high blood pressure? To give you blood pressure, you don't require any external factor. It is a state of your mind. Something changes in your body suddenly and you will have high blood pressure. Like if someone scares you, correct? If you are watching a TV and someone suddenly scares you, they shout in your ear, what will happen? Your BP, your blood pressure will rise. It might be momentary, but it might affect your body, isn't it? Obesity. How is obesity attained? When you eat uncontrollably, that will lead to obesity, overeating, isn't it? Whatever the requirement amount of energy is there in your food, if you are eating excess of that, if you are eating more than what is needed by your body, you will have obesity. Yes, Mrudula. Anger issues also cause the BP. Exactly. Then you have genetic disease. Genetic disease means what? It is there when you are born. Like blindness. Blindness is an example. Some people are born blind. That is because there is something changed in their DNA. Genetic. Something is changed in their DNA while they are born. And that is what leads to blindness. Some people do become blind because of accident, but that is external. But when you're born with that disease, it is nothing but genetic disease, isn't it? Then failure of some organs like heart and kidney. That is also again an internal cause, isn't it? Yes, Chandrahas, yes, it is carried in our DNA. The genes for vision is carried in your DNA, and if there is some change in that, then you can have a genetic disease which leads to blindness or partial blindness. Yes. Also, there is color blindness. You might have heard about it, color blindness. Some people don't see all of the colors, and that is again because of genetic cause. Yes. And failure of some organs like heart. Some people get stroke, isn't it? If they are running too fast, if they are having some, vigorous cardio exercises. You might have heard about the example of Siddharth Shukla, correct? He is an actor, but he died due to sudden stroke. Stroke means failure of heart while doing exercise. That is nothing but internal cause. Yes? Yes, Himanshi, congenital disease developed from birth. Correct. Correct. That is internal cause. Yes. So, types of diseases now we'll be studying. We will be studying acute disease. What does acute mean? Yes, tell me. It is there mentioned already, but you also guys help me with this. What does acute means? Yeah, acute means short-term disease. Small, exactly. Acute means small. It is a short-term disease like common cold, sore throat or pneumonia. Why? Exactly, Mrudula. Last for short period, very small amount of time. Short term. Common cold. Whenever you are suffering from common cold, how many days does that cold last? But create a great impact. Exactly, Mrudula. Yes. It is for short period, but again it will have greater impact on your body. Now tell me, common cold. How many days a common cold last? Is it for a month? Is it for a week? Or is it for a few days? Hey, write your answers in the comment section. Few days. Chandrahas is saying few days. Mrudula is saying 10 days. Okay, 3 days. Chandrahas is saying 3 days. Yeah. So, common cold may vary from person to person, but usually it lasts for 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days. What are the symptoms of common cold? Can you tell me? All of you might have suffered from a cold in your lifetime, isn't it? Every winter season, we all suffer from common cold. Yes, Chandras, depend on person's immunity. But what are the symptoms? Can you tell me? You might always carry a handkerchief with you. Exactly, running nose. Chandra is telling me the answer. Yes. Running nose is there. Then in cold you have exactly Mrudula, sneezing. Why? Because something is itching in your nose always and then you sneeze. Yes. Then you have sore throat. Isn't it? Sore throat is also common in cold. Whenever you have that runny nose, coughing. Yes, coughing. That also leads to coughing. And eventually you will have fever. Correct? Fever is also there. Once your fever subsides, your cold will go. Then you will start to recover from your common cold, isn't it? So common cold lasts for, let's assume for maximum a week. But after that, common cold will go. Your body won't suffer from it. But if you have pneumonia, pneumonia is acute. Why? Because it will last for some days. It won't be for long period, but it will be lasting for, let's assume 15 days. But it will affect your body in a adverse way. Adverse, that means bad. Bad way. Why? Because pneumonia affects your, anyone? Where does pneumonia affect? Does it affect your throat? Nose? Lungs. Yes, Chandrahas, you are absolutely correct. Pneumonia occurs in your lungs. and you can't breathe properly for that duration. You will have severe fever. Correct? You will be bedridden almost for that period of time. Yes, 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 Rishabh. Affect children when they are small, when they are not exposed to diseases. But nowadays, pneumonia is also affecting to COVID patients. We will talk about COVID, but pneumonia is affecting COVID patients, isn't it? So we will be talking about that in our latest slides, yeah? So now we will just see what acute disease is. So illness that generally develops suddenly. You don't know when you will get common cold or when you will get sore throat, isn't it? So that is sudden. Suddenly it will occur in your body. Some changes might occur in your body and it will last for short time. As I have told, common cold may last for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days depending on person's immunity. So it will last for short time, only few days or weeks. So any disease that is being with you for a week or 2 weeks is nothing but acute disease. Acute diseases come on rapidly and are accompanied by distinct symptoms. What we talked about it, right? Common cold will come with distinct symptoms like running nose, coughing, sore throat, right? So that is what it means, distinct symptoms, which will either require urgent and short-term care. What does that mean? Whenever you have a sore throat or you are coughing, what do you take? You will take a cough syrup, right? You will take strepsil or you will take a cough syrup. Why? Because it is short-term remedy. It will soothe your throat. That will help. So urgent and short-term care is required. If you are having a fever, you will take some sort of medicine, isn't it? Just hold on a second, yeah. Okay. Am I audible to you guys? I guess my video is gone. Just write in the comment section, students. Is my video visible to you? Video. Screen is black. Yes, I know screen is black. I am audible, yeah. Yeah, I am fixing it. Just hold on a minute, yeah. I am fixing it. Yes, hi students. Am I audible and visible now? Ganesh? Is my audio visible, audio and video visible to you? Now visible. Yes, great. Okay. So what was I talking about? Yes, done. Great. So, what we were talking about? We were talking about short-term remedies, isn't it? Yes, great. Great. Yeah. So we have to take care. So if you are suffering from fever, what does your parent give you? They give you some sort of painkiller, right? They will give you either penicillin or some sort of painkiller, isn't it? Why? Because fever is accompanied by body pain also. And to reduce that body pain, we will take some sort of painkiller. So that is nothing but a short-term care. Your body will fight against it. Paracetamol, yes, exactly, bright art spot. It is paracetamol that your parents first give you whenever you suffer from fever or you have some body ache. Why? Because paracetamol will try to stop the pain. It will try to reduce the fever. Fever comes through because of inflammation. Fever comes because of inflammation. There is something in your body that changes and that leads to inflammation. It leads to some redness in your body, inside your body, and that will lead to fever because body is trying to fight that inflammation. Yes, body is trying to fight that inflammation, and that is why your body will become warm from its normal temperature. And whenever we are taking a paracetamol, we will have this reduced inflammation and your fever will go down. That is what it means by short-term remedies. See, and also there is broken bone. Now this is like examples of acute diseases. Broken bones, bronchitis. It is nothing but your lung disease. Burns. How does burn occur? Whenever you are touching a hot object, you will get burned, correct? If you go near flames, you will get burned. Was it known? No, it was not known. It came because of some sort of accident, isn't it? So accidents are not known to us. They suddenly occur, but they can lead to either acute type of diseases to you. Then we have heart attack. I told na, sometimes suddenly you will suffer intense pain in your heart, and your heart will have this short spasm, correct? So that is heart attack. Usually it occurs in old age people, but nowadays young people are also suffering because they are not having a proper diet and healthy lifestyle. Then we have respiratory illness. These are all the examples of acute type of diseases. Okay, now we will see why does heart attack take place. Yes, Rishabh. See, if you are running, correct, you don't have practice of running. If you are running for a long distance, what will happen? Your heart will pump blood, correct? It will try to get oxygen to you to the maximum because you're running. When you are running, your body will require lots of oxygens to keep you stable. So breathing will start fast and your heart will pump fast. During that process, sometimes because it is not used to it, your heart will have attack. It will suddenly try to stop because it is unable to accommodate all of the oxygen that it is getting, correct? Exactly, Mrudula, it pumps fast. And because of that, you might get a heart attack. So that is the reason. Sometimes in your old age also, heart muscles. Heart is nothing but a muscular organ, correct? It is muscle, made of whole muscle. So that muscles get fatigued. Fatigue means what? They will get slow down as the age is increasing. That also leads to heart attack. But sometimes healthy people also get heart attack. So that might be then again genetically related because some people have hole in their heart. So that cardiac, yes, Chandra has cardiac muscles. So cardiac muscles get arrested during that period. So that may also lead to heart attack. Does this clear your doubt, Rishabh? Yeah? It clears your doubt? Should I move on to the next slide? So, yeah. We will be learning now about chronic disease. We talked about acute, isn't it? Now we will be talking about chronic. Now tell me, what does chronic mean? Good. What does chronic mean? Chronic conditions develop slowly. Because acute was sudden change in the body, isn't it? Whereas in chronic, there is a slow development. And it may worsen over the extended period of time. Some chronic diseases last 2 years. So that is very bad, isn't it? Why? Because body will suffer very slowly and the condition becomes very bad. Mrudula is saying, ma'am, if people are not doing anything, also suddenly the heart stops and they die. Why does this happen? Okay. That exact reason for heart attack we can't give, but they might be having some underlying conditions better. Because if they have high blood pressure and if they come across sudden change in the environment or something bad news happens, they may get heart attack. Exact reason for heart attack is like not, we can't pinpoint it. But these are various reasons that may affect altogether. Yeah. Chandrahas is saying chronic diseases last for a long time or even a lifetime. Exactly, yes, they do. And have effect lifelong if not treated. Yes, cancer is a very good example. Tuberculosis also. Now, how does cancer happen? How does that occur? It is still not known. But there are different types of cancers there in the people, right? And those people suffer for a long time. There is no cure as such for cancer. Yes, good, Mrudula, you got it. Tuberculosis again occurs in your lungs. That is also a very bad disease and it may last for years if not treated properly. So conditions are often caused by unhealthy behaviors. Why do chronic disease occur? Because of unhealthy behaviors that may increase the risk of disease, like poor nutrition. Now, if you are not having a balanced and good diet, your body will not get the required amount of nutrients. Correct? If you don't have proteins in your diet, your muscles will lose the capacity to work properly, right? Because your muscle is made up of protein. So if protein is not provided, your muscles may have fatigue. You may not have proper energy to do any kind of work. If you don't get enough carbohydrates, what will you get? Your body will again weaken, right? You won't have any energy to carry on. If you have inadequate physical activity, if you are not doing physical activity like proper exercise or yoga, your body will not get attuned to whatever the circumstances it may lead to. Like you are getting a heart attack, right? If you are not doing a regular physical exercise, your body may get heart attack eventually, because if suddenly you have to do something, your heart won't be able to pump enough oxygen to you, correct? Your lungs need to expand, and that happens during your physical activity. So proper exercise is essential. Overuse of alcohol. Now, bad effects of alcohol is known to all of us. If alcohol is consumed overly, that means if a person is alcoholic, what happens? His internal organs like liver gets damaged, correct? If liver gets damaged, then fat is not properly utilized in our body and person may die because of it. Exactly, Chandra's liver damage. Himanshi is asking, clotting of blood cells and tissues at certain area causes cancer. No, beta. See, the exact cause of cancer is not known. If there is a sudden change in your body, like there are cells in your body, correct? If multiplication of cell is suddenly there, that means something triggers in your body and your cells starts to multiply uncontrollably. Usually our cells are multiplying, but one cell leads to two cells, isn't it? But if there is multiplication and it is uncontrolled, that time we can say that a person is suffering from cancer. Clotting of blood cells will not lead to cancer. Okay. I hope that clears your doubt. Himanshi, yeah? Liver, yes, Mrudula. Liver, kidney, lung damage occurs due to alcohol, yes. Also smoking. Smoking leads to lung damage. If lung is damaged, your breathing eventually is bad. Okay, great. Then social, emotional, environment and genetic factors also play a role in your chronic diseases. How? How? Because if you are socially awkward and emotionally very weak, what will happen? If people are not talking to you, you will eventually succumb to mental sort of illness, correct? Sorry. And mental illnesses will be there for a long period of time, isn't it? Mental illness, there is actually no cure for mental illness. Person has to recover on its own by increasing his mind power, isn't it? So this will lead to excuse me, sorry. So yeah, social, environmental, all these factors will lead to mental illness, and mental illness is again for long period of time. Then we have genetic factors. As I have told you, there are genetic factors, isn't it? We talked about diseases like, can you tell me the example of genetic disease that we talked about in our earlier class, earlier slide? We talked about blindness, color blindness, isn't it? So these are genetic diseases. So some genetic factors will lead to chronic diseases. Now there is an example of diabetes here. Diabetes is said to be sometimes genetic and sometimes environmental. Why? Because if you are eating excess amount of food, it will lead to obesity, isn't it? And obesity will eventually lead to diabetes, because your body won't be able to break down all the food that is coming on, right? So sugar content will increase and that will lead to diabetes. That is nothing but your environmental reason. and sometimes it is genetic. Even if a person is eating healthy and normally, a person may suffer from diabetes because it is heredity, comes from its parents or grandparents. Okay, bright art school long-term effects are seen in chronic disease. Exactly. Elephantiasis is an example. Yes, that is also an example. Correct. Depression, mental illness that I was talking about. Chronic kidney disease. This might be also leading to, you might have heard about kidney stones. Yeah. So in this type of disease also it is chronic, it is long term. Many time operations are needed to remove this type of stones. Yes. So kidney diseases are also related to chronic disease. Then we have heart diseases. Now it was there in your acute also and it is there in your chronic also. How? You might ask. See, in acute, a sudden heart attack. Yes, in acute, sudden heart attack is there. That is nothing but acute because you don't know the reason why it is happening. But in chronic, there is an underlying condition in your heart. If your heart is made up of cardiac muscles, isn't it? If the walls are thin, heart's wall are thin, then eventually your heart may stop pumping, isn't it? Or they are thick and their elasticity is less. That may also lead to heart attack eventually. So there is an underlying heart disease that is known. So that is nothing but chronic. Okay. I hope you understood this. Do you have any doubt in this? Should I move on to the next part? Yeah. So now we have diseases classified based on causes like non-infectious. Okay, we talked about chronic and acute. Now we will be talking about non-infectious. Yeah. So how are non-infectious disease? They are non-communicable. That means it cannot transfer from person to person. It is non-communicable. It is not caused by any infectious agent. It cannot transfer from me to some other person, isn't it? So their causes vary, but they are not external caused. They are usually not caused by microbes. They are not communicable diseases. That means they are not getting transferred from person to person. They are internal. Okay, they are internal. Non-infectious causes. Like we have abnormalities, isn't it? See, we have genetic abnormalities. In chronic we talked about, correct? So these genetic abnormalities are born with. We are born with those kind of things. So they are non-infectious type of diseases, isn't it? In elephantiasis, yes, beta Mrudula, yes. Elephantiasis is a chronic disease. High uric acid comes in acute or chronic. Usually, high uric acid is acute, you can say, because you can control your uric acid, isn't it? If a person is suffering from uric acid disease, high uric acid, doctors usually tell them to eat less protein. If they are eating less protein, their uric acid content decreases. Yeah, so that becomes kind of acute. It is not chronic. But if you are eating protein on a continuous basis, then it will lead to chronic disease. Yes. I hope that is understood, Kanishk. So yes, for example, some type of cancers. Cancers are caused sometimes by genetic abnormalities because there is sudden change in your DNA and then cell multiplies uncontrollably. That leads to cancer. But can cancer be transferred from person to person? If a person sitting next to me is suffering from cancer, can he or she give me the cancer? Yes, Kanish, yes. Yeah, tell me this. If a person is suffering from cancer, can he or she give me the cancer? Can he transfer the cancer to me? No, Chandrahas is saying no. Exactly. Because cancer is not communicable. That means it is not transferred by touch or sharing food or sharing your environment with that person. Correct? That is why cancer is said to be non-infectious. High blood pressure again. These are all internal causes. This cannot be transferred. Correct? Excessive weight. I cannot gain weight because someone else is gaining weight, isn't it? So that these are all non-infectious type of diseases. See, chronic respiratory disease, diabetes, cardiovascular disease and cancers are all of these examples of non-infectious or non-communicable type of diseases. Then you might ask, what are infectious disease? Correct. Infectious diseases are nothing but they are caused by microbes. And if they are caused by microbes, then it means that it can spread easily. Isn't it? See this image over here. If a person is suffering from cold, what will happen? If he or she is going near towards a healthy person, what will happen? He will give that virus, isn't it? He will give that virus to the healthy person. If he or she gives that means he or she is spreading the disease, isn't it? The disease is spread to people coming in contact with a sick person. This is what we were talking about. Is cancer definitely a lifetime disease? Yes, Mrudula. If someone is suffering from cancer, if they get to know that they are suffering from cancer, it is usually lifetime. Usually, because there is no accurate cure as such. There are chemotherapies and all that will reduce the cancer. Sometimes operations are done, but then again 100% recovery is not there in person who has cancer. Okay. Chandrahas, it attacks. Yes. Coronavirus is an example. Yes, bright art spot. Exactly. Cutanu, hi, welcome. So yeah. So diseases that are spread because of microbes are known as infectious disease. Infectious means what? Infecting other person, isn't it? If I am suffering from cold and if I sneeze in front of someone, some small droplets will release the infecting agent. That is nothing but a virus, isn't it? Infecting agent to the healthy person. That healthy person will breathe that infecting agent and he will suffer from cold, isn't it? So that is how infection is. Infectious diseases are. They will spread with them, right? If a sick person is there, he will spread that disease. So there are different modes for spreading this type of disease. These are air, water, food, vector, physical contact, or there is a sexual contact. These are different ways by which, yes, contagious disease, correct, Brighter. Infectious diseases are also known as contagious disease or communicable disease. Afsana Parveen, okay, thank you. Gautam Mridha, not understand. What did you not understood, Gautam? What is it that you don't understand? You don't understand what is infectious disease? Okay, so yeah. Again, yeah. So different modes of how these diseases are spread. Since infection is spread, there are modes. It can spread by air, by water, by food, by vectors like mosquitoes, flies, then by physical contact. Like in the COVID situation, if a person is suffering from COVID, if he sneezes on a surface and we touch that surface, we might get that type of disease, isn't it? So physical contact or sexual contact. There are diseases which are transferred from person to person by direct contact, right? By direct sexual contact. So we will learn about the diseases in detail in our further slides. What should I repeat, Afsana? Preventions, yes. Please side ma'am screenshot lena hai. Okay. This video will be available for you. Afsana, this video will be there in your YouTube. You just subscribe our Practically Live channel and you will get this video there. So no need to take a screenshot. Yeah? You can always watch it on repeat base. Okay, Gautam. Okay, welcome. Okay. Yeah. So now there is a question. Again, this is a subjective based question on what we have learned so far. So which amongst the two diseases, acute or chronic, has adverse effect on the health of a person. Explain giving a suitable example. Now, since your exam is again subjective based, you have to write answer. You have to frame sentences. Now, you tell me the answer in comment section. What are the two diseases? Which among these two diseases, that is acute and chronic, has adverse effect on health? Okay. Read the question carefully. I will stop talking for a minute and I'll wait. Yeah. I want to see what type of answers you give so that I'll give you my answer. Ma'am, मेरा नाम कैफ है. Okay, Afsana. Your name is Kaif. Okay. Welcome to this channel. Do subscribe our channel, Kaif, for more such interesting videos and further one shots. We have lots of things planned for you guys. Okay, Chandrahas is saying chronic as it has long effect and may be untreatable too. Mrudula is saying both. Bright Art Spot is saying chronic disease. And okay, should I tell you my answer? Yes, it is chronic disease because chronic disease will last for a long time, isn't it? It will last for a long time. So it is more harmful than acute because acute disease may come and go within a week or 2 weeks. But chronic will last for a long time. For example, cough and cold is nothing but acute disease, isn't it? We talked about it. But it will not affect our health badly. It will last for like a week, maximum a week, or sometimes 15 days at the max. But after that, we will recover from it. Yeah. But if we are suffering from tuberculosis, now tuberculosis is nothing but a lung disease, isn't it? Your lungs will get affected for a long time since it is chronic. And since your lungs are getting affected, you won't be able to breathe properly. You will always cough. And that will have long time effect on our health. Your body may suffer eventually. Why? Because you are not able to breathe properly. You are continuously coughing. Correct? Your lungs are getting damaged more and more. And that is nothing but drastic effect and has long-term effect on you. So this is the answer how you have to frame it, isn't it? You have to give the example of a disease and then you have to explain your answer. Why you want to say chronic or why you want to say acute. Fatigueness can be a long-term effect. Yes, it can be. But fatigueness can be cured, isn't it? If you have a healthy diet, if you drink water continuously and if you have physical activity, your fatigueness will go, isn't it? So how can we say that it is a long-term disease, correct? That may be the effect of, yes, tuberculosis. Yes, tuberculosis may have fatigueness. Then Mrudula is saying because if acute lasts for short period, also more. Exactly, Mrudula, but it is acute, right? It will be short term. Whatever effect you have, it will last for that duration. If let's assume you have a broken bone, that's acute disease, isn't it? But after a month or so, your bone will heal, isn't it? If your हिंदी में मैम बोल दीजिए. ओके यस कैफ हिंदी में मैं बोल सकती हूँ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, लेकिन आई गेस हमारे ज्यादातर ऑडियंस जो है वो इंग्लिश में समझते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी आई कैन ट्राई टू इनकॉर्पोरेट हिंदी इन बिटवीन. यस. So, as I was talking, like, if you have a broken bone, that is acute disease, isn't it? But your bone will heal after some time. But what about your lung? In tuberculosis, your lung is suffering for a long period of time. If you don't have a proper treatment, your lungs will get deteriorated. That means the quality of your lung will go on decreasing. Eventually, your lungs may collapse. And if your lungs are getting collapsed, you will have respiratory disease, correct? Tuberculosis is respiratory disease. You won't be able to breathe. You will have artificially oxygen given to you. So that is bad, isn't it? Isn't it, Mrudula? So I hope this clears your doubt. So this is how you have to frame the answer, okay? You will get lots of time in your exam, so think about it. Okay. So now we are seeing now means of spread. As I have told you, infectious diseases are spread through different means, correct? So now we will be seeing means one by one. The first is airborne disease. And the best example that I gave you about was cold, right? Cold spreads through air, right? If you are sneezing or coughing, you will have cold. A person, if this person is sick, he or she will spread this disease to the healthy person. Correct? So air is the medium because sneezing is there in the air. Whatever the droplets are there, yes, Gautam. COVID-19 is also a kind of, it is an coronavirus disease, correct? So it is spread by air. It is airborne. So microbial agents can move from an affected person to someone else through air. And that is why it is known as airborne disease. Then it occurs through little droplets, as I was talking about. If you are sneezing, whenever you are sneezing, some small droplets fall from your nose or mouth, correct? Yes, Kev. Example is corona. Yes. So small droplets are thrown. These small droplets will either be on the surface or some person who is nearby may breathe them. Correct? And that someone standing close can breathe these droplets. And the causative agent, that is the thing, virus now, cold and COVID is caused by virus, isn't it? So this virus will get the chance to start a new infection in a healthy person. So that is how airborne diseases are spread. Example is again common cold, tuberculosis is also spread through that, pneumonia, and we have COVID. Correct. We have COVID, that is also is an airborne disease. So I hope you understood this part. Now we'll see another spread, means of spread. This is nothing but waterborne disease. So now we talked about air. Now we will be talking about water. They can be spread through water. Water is the causative agent. I mean, some causative agent is there in the water. If you are drinking an impure water, okay, impure means what? It is not good for you. It is unhealthy. It has something which causes the disease. For example, if excreta, that means excreta means what? Waste material that is thrown out of your body of someone suffering from an infectious disease, gut disease, such as cholera. Cholera is caused by bacteria, isn't it? Okay, please show questions that can come in subjective exams. Okay. Beta, bright art spot, what we are doing is we are teaching some part and based on that part we are giving you a question, isn't it? So the earlier question was based on whatever we taught you. So what the question came to you was that may come to your subjective exam because again that is for topic of a chapter that we are covering, isn't it? And if you understand this whole lecture, you might give the answers to any type of subjective questions that may come to your exams, isn't it? So carefully listen to the lecture and you can ask me the doubts in your comments over here, isn't it? I'm here to solve those doubts. Oh, you have exam in 15 days. Don't worry, we have sample papers coming up. In sample papers, you can solve your doubts because sample papers will be covering for subjective based exam only, and in those will be starting in few days. Yeah. And Bright Art Spot, do subscribe our practically app. Okay, download that app. You will get lots of questions in that app. We have selected lots of questions for you, students like you, where you can have subjective as well as objective based questions. So go through our app, you will get different types of videos for all the subjects there. Okay. Likit. Where sample will be posted. Okay. Sample paper for 9th we will be covering on YouTube. But if you have 9th and 10th, yeah. But if you have any friends who are, okay, Gautam, Google. Gautam, what do you mean by Google? Sample papers from practically we will be having in YouTube sessions only. But if not, then those are available on Practically app also. So download Practically app from App Store and Play Store. Okay. You will get lots of content to prepare for your exam. So as I was talking, cholera is nothing but a bacterial infection. Okay, keep this in mind. It is a bacterial infection and it occurs through water. If your water is impure, that means if someone is having excreta, usually this type of things occur near slum areas. Okay, outbreak of cholera usually happens over there because people don't have proper sanitary places for uh, going for washrooms and bathrooms. So they don't have proper places. So they just sit near a water stream or somewhere. So if a person is infected by already cholera bacteria, that excreta will come in water and it will infuse the water with that bacteria. And if some person is drinking that water, cholera may get infected to that person also. That person may suffer from cholera. So that is how this type of disease is transmitted. See, this is what it is mentioned over here, that cholera will get enter the new host through water if that water is drunk by the healthy person. Okay. Hi Shiva. Gaurav Mantri, hello, hi. Likhit also, hi. Good evening. Do enjoy this session. Okay, so this is about spread of disease by waterborne diseases. Cholera is a very good example of it. You can also tell me few examples in the comment section. Gaurav, I am good. How are you? Okay, now we'll have sexually transmitted disease. We talked about water and airborne disease. Now we'll be talking about sexually transmitted disease. These diseases are transmitted by sexual contact from one partner to the other. It is infectious, agreed. It is communicable, agreed. But it is shared between only two people or multiple people if they are partner. That means they are sexual partner of one another. Then only this type of disease is transmitted. But this disease is not transmitted by casual physical contact. What does that mean? Exactly, bright art spot. AIDS is an example of it. It is not transferred by casual contact. It means that if a person suffering from sexually transmitted disease touches a object, let's say if he touches the doorknob, and if a healthy person touches that doorknob, will the disease get transferred? Physical contact, will that disease get transferred? No. Sexual contact means it is a contact where male and female reproduce to have offsprings, correct? Exactly, Kanish. Syphilis is an example again. So when that type of contact occurs, there are transfer of fluids from one person to other person. If a person suffering from sexually transmitted disease like syphilis or HIV transfers fluid from a person to the other during their contact, then that other person also suffers from the sexually transmitted disease. Okay, I hope Gaurav this explains your doubt. Okay, now we have example of AIDS virus that can spread through blood also. How? If a person is suffering from AIDS, if he or she gives the blood to a person who is healthy, that blood contains the virus, correct? It contains the virus which will spread. AIDS is nothing but HIV, correct? HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. So human immunodeficiency virus will transfer via blood, correct? Transfer via blood from HIV positive person to a healthy person. It may also transfer from infected mother who is feeding her baby through milk, breastfeeding, isn't it? So during that process also HIV may get transferred. Okay, so this is how sexually transmitted disease get transferred. Also, syphilis is example. Syphilis is caused by bacteria. Okay, and that bacteria is usually transferred during sexual contact. So a person suffering from syphilis should not have physical contact with the person who is healthy. Blood transfusion, exactly, yes. What is breastfeeding? Gaurav Mantri, I guess you know what that is, isn't it? A mother feeding a baby is nothing but breastfeeding. You might have seen a cow where a calf is drinking blood from cow's breast, isn't it? So that is nothing but breastfeeding. Okay. And usually it is only for infants. Small babies who cannot have their own food are fed through milk. So syringes are single time use and barber blade. Exactly, Courage. That is why syringes and barber blades are one time use only. Because you never know who the person is suffering, right? By what it is suffering. If a syringe is used for taking blood or giving any sort of vaccine to a person suffering from HIV and same syringe is used again for a healthy person, virus may get transferred. Exactly. So you have a very good knowledge about this, Kanishk. I am happy. Okay, now we have vector-borne diseases. Yeah. So I guess you might have known about this vector-borne disease, right? Mosquitoes are very well-known vectors. So vectors carry disease or infection. Mosquito, as I have told you, are example and they are vector for diseases like malaria. And can you tell me the other example? What do mosquitoes carry? Malaria and a very well-known disease. People suffer from it. There are two more diseases actually, but I would like to. Kef, my name is Dr. Preeti. Exactly, Gautam. It is dengue. Your spelling is wrong, but it is dengue. Yeah, it is dengue. Mosquitoes carry protozoas in their saliva like dengue, malaria. Exactly. Chandrahas, very good. Mosquitoes carry the vector and the vector over here is protozoa. The infecting agent over here is protozoa and vector is mosquito. Correct. Exactly. Typhoid, no, beta. Typhoid, no. Typhoid is not caused by mosquito bites. House flies. Yeah, house fly is also an example of vector-borne diseases. Also, there are many animals, small animals like cat, dog also carry some sort of diseases. But usually those diseases are not transferred to humans because that comes under different category. Okay. Okay. No issues. No issues, Gautam. I understood what you meant to say. It's dengue. Yeah. So, see over here, there is an example. There are eggs of certain fly or certain flies. Okay. So, these are the larvae which are sitting, which are contacted by animals like mice or birds. They will take these eggs of any type of, you can say, protozoa or any type of disease causing agent, right? Then they will transfer that. They will give it to adult and that egg, that is their life cycle. But these are the agents. Yes, rats, birds, then animals. These are the agents. They will carry these eggs, protozoan eggs. Okay, they can carry it, or they can carry the bacteria, viruses along with them, and they can transfer that to healthy humans and risk the humans with that type of disease. Okay, no issues, no issues. Okay, so dengue is an example, malaria is an example. Can you tell me any other example apart from that, which can be a vector-borne disease? I did not think that you asked the question about, okay. No, I am asking now. Do you have any other example apart from malaria, dengue that is caused by vectors? Okay, thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. Anyone? No? You only know two examples, dengue, malaria. Rabies. Okay, correct, Gaurav. That is a very good answer. Rabies. Rabies is caused by virus, isn't it? Virus. And it usually infects dogs. Yes, rabies. Correct. So it usually infects dogs. And dog becomes mad because of it. And if a rabid dog bites you, you may also get contacted with that type of disease. Yes, Chandras, very good. I was looking for this answer. Chikungunya. Yes. Still there, ma'am. I am here, yes. Okay. What you forgot? Mrudula, what you forgot? I am still here. And you are also here apparently. So that's good. Okay, so dengue, malaria, chikungunya and rabies. As Gaurav has said, these are a very good example. Rabies is caused by viruses. Chikungunya is also again transferred by mosquitoes and it is also a viral disease. Yeah. So now we will see organ specific and tissue specific manifestations. We saw, okay, brain fever, Japanese encephalitis, yes. Yes, these are chronic diseases and these are transferred by vectors, correct. Yes. Dengue, yes, yes, bright heart spot, yes. So you guys know different diseases which are caused by vectors, that is good. Now we will see how organ specific and tissue specific manifestations occur because we saw means of spread, correct. Now these are occurring in the body at a specific level, right? So microbes, now we will see organ specific microbes which enter through nose. Okay, microbes usually enter through mouth or nose. But if a microbe is entering through nose, they are likely to affect lungs, isn't it? If they are going via the route of nose, they will. We are giving examples. You can see. Yes, yes, bright spot. I can see the examples. Yes, I talked about dengue. Yeah. Mrudula, I forgot about the diseases which are caused by mosquitoes other than dengue. Okay, no issues, Mrudula. But we got the answer from students, other students, isn't it? We got dengue and chikungunya. These are also diseases transferred by mosquito. Okay. Exactly, bright art spot. Lung and respiratory system. If a microbe is entering through nose, it will affect lung and respiratory system. Example here is tuberculosis. Because nose is directly connected to lungs, isn't it? If we breathe some microorganism, it will directly affect our lungs. It won't affect our gut. It will not affect our stomach. It will affect only our respiratory system. That is why tuberculosis is an example of microbe entering through nose. Okay. Then if microbe which enters through mouth, it is likely to affect our gut because we are consuming something which is infected with microorganism. If a food or water is consumed, it will go from our mouth to our stomach, right? So it will affect our gut. Typhoid is an example. Okay. If it is affecting our gut, then it is typhoid. If it is affecting our liver, like alcohol, if you consume alcohol, it will affect the liver, right? And there are some viruses and bacteria which cause jaundice. It affects the liver because microorganism is going through our mouth, but it is affecting liver, specific organ. Example is jaundice. Okay. Then viruses such as AIDS enter the body via sexual contact or via blood, as we have talked. So it will spread by lymph nodes. Our body is made up of lymph nodes, correcting. Then there are vessels. So lymph node helps to the spread of HIV virus towards the whole body, and your whole body suffers, isn't it? So that is how it is specific manifestation as well as the whole body manifestation. Then viruses which cause Japanese encephalitis. Now someone was talking about Japanese encephalitis. It enters the body through mosquito bite, but it affects specifically your brain. So it is specific, isn't it? Encephalitis itself means brain. Right? So it is a virus that affects your brain. It is organ specific. Right? Ma'am, my ma'am said which enter through mouth they go to digestive system. Yes, better it does go to digestive system. But some bacteria will have specific organs as their host. Okay, they will not affect your whole digestive system. They will affect only a particular organ. Like typhoid occurs only in your gut, but it is going through your mouth only. No, gut is nothing but your intestines, correct? So it will affect that. And liver, some microorganisms go through your mouth, but it will affect your liver. You suffer from jaundice. In jaundice, you have symptoms like yellow eyes, then your bile pigments are very red, yellow. So that is what it means, that it will affect a specific organ. Okay. And what does it mean? What are the different means by which infection spread? I talked about this, no, Kev? Different modes of infection like airborne, waterborne, vector-borne. That are the different means by which infectious diseases are spread. AIDS attacked, exactly, Kanish, yes. AIDS attacked our immune system. That is why it affects the whole body. Okay, no liver. No bright spot. It will affect the liver also. Certain bacteria will go to liver and they will grow over there, okay? And that is why they affect only liver. Manifestation means they multiply, they occur there. They multiply and then they stay over there. That is nothing but manifestation. I hope that clears it out. Specific manifestation means multiplication of bacteria in that specific area, okay? It thrives, it lives over there. It lives over there. So now we have a question, right? We have a question on what we have learned so far. How does cholera becomes an epidemic? Now we talked about cholera. It is there. No bright spot. There is nothing to be sorry about. You had a doubt, I cleared your doubt, isn't it? Okay, so now tell me the answer for this. How does cholera become an epidemic? Okay, I'll wait for it. Cholera is caused by what and how is it spread? And how can that be? Epidemic is what? Epidemic is where many people are infected, isn't it? Gaurav, my name is Preeti and I guess that is enough for now, isn't it? I am Preeti ma'am for you. No need for my full name, isn't it? Bright art spot. Okay. Cholera is an infectious disease. Exactly. Cholera is an infectious disease. But how does cholera become an epidemic? I told no, epidemic is where many people are suffering in a particular area. So how is cholera spread? And how will that lead to an epidemic? That is your answer. Yes, Mrudula. It is caused by water. Gautam, I am from, okay. I am in Practically, so you can find me in Practically live channel as well as Practically app. If you subscribe, if you download a Practically app and if you take a subscription from there, you will find me in Zoom classes also. Ingestion of food, okay, Mrudula. Is it ingestion of food? Think about it. Chandrahas is saying cholera is an infectious disease. It quickly spreads among people. It is caused by contaminated water. I love this answer because that is how infection spreads, isn't it? Chandrahas, kudos, very good answer. See, a person may get cholera by drinking water, right? Or eating food. Mrudula, this is your answer. Eating food contaminated with cholera bacterium. In an epidemic, the source of contamination is usually feces. We talked about this in waterborne disease, isn't it? Excreta of a person. If it goes in the water streams, it will from an infected person, and a person, healthy person, is drinking that water. The diseases can spread rapidly in the areas with inadequate treatment. of sewage and drinking water. Isn't it? So these are the points that you should remember. Because when I talked about cholera, I told na, that it is spread. It is a bacteria caused by Vibrio cholerae. That name is very difficult and not needed for you now, but it is caused by bacteria. Practically app you can download for free. There are different applications there, you can search them. But if you want to have live lectures, or if you want to have lectures of teachers, then there are subscriptions. Okay, there are nominal amounts. You can contact the sales department over here. You can contact the number given in the app, and then you will get exact quotation for the courses. Okay. कैफ यूट्यूब क्लास का टाइम बता देगा. Yes, yes, I'll come to that because we have a schedule posted at the end of this slide. You can just check that schedule, okay? In the start also we had posted a schedule. In the end also we have a schedule. But you can enroll for this course on practically also, right? Arey no, Mrudula, you said correct. No, eating food infected by cholera bacteria. That also leads to cholera, but epidemic no usually happens because of water. Okay, read this answer carefully. I am talking a lot. So I'll keep quiet. You read this answer, then you will understand. Can you explain some points in Hindi? Okay, Gaurav, क्या मीन्स क्या आपको समझना है? देखो, अगर बंदा एक अच्छे पानी के स्ट्रीम के यहाँ पे कोई इन्फेक्टेड बंदा, इफ ही इज हैविंग अगर वो वहां पे जाके शौच करता है, करेक्ट, तो वो पूरे पानी को गंदा कर देगा. और पानी गंदा होने के बाद अगर वो पानी किसी और ने पी लिया, या फिर जो एरिया है उस एरिया के लोगों ने पानी पी लिया, क्योंकि वहां पे सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है, मतलब पानी को प्यूरिफाई नहीं किया जाता, तो वहां पे वो इन्फेक्शन बढ़ेगा. Isn't it? वहां पे वो इन्फेक्शन बढ़ेगा और काफी लोग उस कोलेरा से प्रभावित हो गए. सो इसीलिए कोलेरा वहां पे एपिडेमिक बन जाएगा, क्योंकि वो पूरे एरिया में फैल गया है. आई होप दिस एक्सप्लेन्स. वॉज इट ओके गौरव? मैथ का क्लास होता है प्रैक्टिकली ऐप पे. क्या मैथ का भी होता है, साइंस का भी होता है. साइंस में सारे सब्जेक्ट कवर किए जाते हैं. ठीक है. हाय शगुन, गुड इवनिंग. सो आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड दिस पार्ट. सो नाउ वी विल सी सम ऑफ द डिजीजेस. ओके, वी हैव लेशमैनियासिस. These are diseases, okay, caused by protozoan known as leishmania, and it is transferred by a female phlebotomine sandfly. It's a sandfly. Okay, this is caused by a vector. It is a vector-borne disease. Okay, and there are three forms of leishmaniasis. I mean, leishmaniasis is a disease caused by protozoa, but there are three different types of leishmaniasis depending on where it is occurring. Okay, visceral is nothing but organs, different organs present in your body. So if it is occurring in the different organs, it is known as kala azar, and this type of disease is very serious disease. Okay, then we have cutaneous form. Cutaneous means what? Skin. If it is going under your skin, sandfly is biting your skin, then you are having cutaneous form of leishmaniasis. Okay, and this is most common because usually flies or any kind of vector will bite your skin, isn't it? Then we have mucocutaneous. What does that mean? It is under your skin also and in your nose. Mucus. Muco means mucus, nose. So this is also a type of leishmaniasis. So depending on where the fly is biting. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you. Okay. So depending on the location, your leishmaniasis disease varies. It is characterized by irregular bouts of fever. Bouts of fever means what? Different, you will have irregular fever. Today you have fever, tomorrow you might not. Day after tomorrow you might again get a fever. So that is nothing but bouts of fever. Weight loss. Your weight will drastically go. means your weight will lose. You will lose weight in this type of disease. Then there is enlargement of spleen and liver. Spleen and liver are organs. No beta, Mrudula, no. Throat pain is usually not a symptom for diarrhea. Stomach ache is the symptom for diarrhea. And you have anemia. Anemia is nothing but loss of blood. You will have less blood in your body. Okay. So these are the characteristics of leishmaniasis. Then we have SARS-CoV-2. There is lots to talk about SARS-CoV-2, isn't it? It is nothing but a coronavirus. SARS-CoV-2 is the name. And since it emerged in late 2019, it is known as COVID-19. Isn't it? Okay. It is caused pandemic of acute respiratory disease because it is going through your nose and it is causing respiratory disease in your lungs. It is directly affecting your lungs. See, that is why it is known as COVID-19 since it is emerged in late 2019. This is the virus. Here you can see. This is the virus, okay? These are the protein heads. Protein. And this is surrounding the whole virus, isn't it? It is like a crown. The virus body is having a crown. And that is why it is corona. Okay. Corona means nothing but crown. Okay. And this virus is surrounding with many proteins which appears to be a crown on that protein and therefore it is a coronavirus. The virus can spread from infected person's mouth, nose in small droplets whenever they cough, sneeze, speak, sing or breathe. That is, I think, a known fact now, isn't it? For that, Gaurav, you have to subscribe our Practically app and Practically app, that specific voucher, this courses where I can explain to you reproduction chapter. Okay. Chandrahas is saying a virus is considered to be a particle. Exactly. Which is covered by a protein cover and start multiplying. Exactly, Chandrahas. That is exactly what it means. Because viruses are usually dead. They are not living outside of body. But once they enter our body, they will become living. Okay. Then they will start to multiply. Okay. And the common symptoms for COVID-19 are fever, dry cough, fatigue, and many others. Okay. I hope you understood this. So virus usually transfers usually this protein head changes. That is what we call as mutation. I'll write over here. Okay, mutation. So different mutation in the protein head leads to the variation. You might be knowing that there are different variants now, right? Omicron, Delta, etc. So that is because of changes in the protein code. Okay. So this is the AIDS disease. AIDS is nothing but acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. That is the full form of AIDS and is a chronic and potentially life-threatening condition because over the time a person will become weak and there will be different types of infections occurring in that person that may lead to death. And it is caused by human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. It damages our immune system. It attacks our immune system and because of that, various infections and diseases occur in a person over the time. Okay. The virus can be transmitted through contact with infected blood, semen or vaginal fluids. That means it is contacted during sexual contact or blood or by feeding or to a baby when mother is feeding. Infected mother is feeding a baby. Okay, AIDS symptoms include weight loss. A person suffering from AIDS will have a weight loss. They will suffer from fever or night sweat. Night sweat means they will have lots of sweating during the night. Fatigue and recurrent infections. Since it is attacking the immune system, different types of infections will always come to that person because his immunity is weak, right? So whenever he is breathing or whenever he is touching a surface infected with microbes, that person will immediately suffer from that disease. Mrudula, no, viruses are motile. See, this is a virus, correct? This virus is not motile. Okay. It is a particle. It needs a transferring agent. Now, whenever you're sneezing, it transfers through air by a vector. Air is the medium, isn't it? The virus itself is not motile. It will multiply in your body. But if outside your body, it is just a particle. Okay? I hope you understood that. Okay, great. HIV full form is beta human immunodeficiency virus. Shagun, it is human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. Okay. Yeah, and there is no cure for the HIV. There is no cure as such for AIDS even now. But if we have strict adherence to the antiretroviral regimes, that means if we are taking antivirals, whenever you are suffering from a bacterial disease, you are getting antibiotic, correct? So if you have antiviral, your progress will be slow. So you may live for a long period of time if you are suffering from HIV, alright? Vedant, yes, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome is AIDS. It's the full form of AIDS. Now we have a question. Why does a person suffering from the disease HIV/AIDS dies even due to small infection? I talked about AIDS now. You tell me the answer in a... Hi Dhanashri, welcome. Okay. Which second point, beta? The virus can be transmitted, I told, na? It can be transmitted through contact with infected blood. We gave an example of syringe, then blood transfer, isn't it? Then this is due to sexual contact or breastfeeding. These are the means by which virus can be transmitted. Yes, yes. Yes, Chandrahas, that is the correct answer. HIV damages the immune system of the person suffering from AIDS, and due to this, the body of the person becomes unable to fight against even a small infection. And the person's immune system becomes very weak and ultimately leads to death of person due to many different infections. Okay, that is your answer. Okay, I hope you understood this answer, because personally Chandrahas gave a very correct answer. Okay, so I'll give you time to read this. I'll wait for some time. Okay, I hope you understood this part. Okay, there is another. Okay, I just went up. Yeah. So now we will come to prevention of disease. Now we talked about diseases, isn't it? Now we will talk about prevention. So public hygiene is one of the basic keys to prevent any kind of disease, because airborne disease and waterborne disease are nothing but caused because of public inhygiene, isn't it? If water is not purified, if air is polluted, then you will have diseases easily spread, isn't it? If you are providing good living conditions which are not crowded, isn't it? Not crowded. That means for corona now we are having social distancing, isn't it? We are limiting the number of people in a particular place. If that is... Shagun, video or voice break हो रहा है. Okay, I hope this will not occur now. So if you are not in the crowded place, then airborne diseases will not spread. Okay, and you have to take proper precaution to prevent the airborne disease. In waterborne diseases also, if you are purifying the water, if you are drinking a clean drinking water, you will not suffer from waterborne diseases. So that is how you have to prevent. In vector-borne diseases also, if you are cleaning the environment, if you are stopping the population of mosquitoes in your area or fly population, then you will not suffer from vector-borne diseases, isn't it? So these are the preventive measures for that. Then what are the weapons to fight? If you are getting contacted with the diseases, then what are the weapons to fight against those diseases, isn't it? I talked about antibiotics now. Antibiotics are nothing but medicines. They are medicines which fight against the bacterial infection. Right? Infections can be bacterial and they can be viral. So for virals we have antivirals. And for bacteria we have antibiotics. Okay. They either kill the bacteria or stop them from reproducing. If a bacteria is inside your body, they multiply many times to increase the population. If we stop the reproduction or kill the bacteria, then body's natural defenses will act against them and they will eliminate the pathogen from your body. They will stop the spread of infection in your body. If antibiotics are used properly, it can save lives. But if you are taking antibiotics on a regular basis without prescription of a doctor, there will be antibiotic resistance. Resistance among whom? Resistance among bacteria. Bacteria will develop resistance toward antibiotic and the bacteria will not die. Hi, Sweetie Paul. Sweetie Paul, you can actually check this video again in our Practically Live channel. Now it is almost over. I'm happy that you are getting everything good. But you can again watch it on repeat basis, right? To get understand the points that you don't understand now. Okay. So antibiotic resistance and that will affect the drugs. Yeah. What, Shagun, do you have any doubt? What do you have the doubt? Type it. Okay. Also weapons such as vaccine. Now you might know that a person suffering from, to prevent COVID, we are giving vaccines to people, right? Vaccine is nothing but biological preparation that improves the immunity of a particular disease. Now, the current example is of COVID. COVID is nothing but a virus, isn't it? So what we are doing is we are giving vaccine to prevent person from suffering COVID, isn't it? So what a vaccine typically contains is an agent that resembles. It is an agent that resembles the disease causing microorganism. And it is often made from weakened or killed forms. That means what? In COVID also we have protein coat. I gave you the example. Shown you the image of virus, isn't it? It contains a protein coat. So the protein coat is given in the vaccine form. Or for bacteria, sometimes bacteria are killed and the bacteria is given in the form. And sometimes we have toxins because some microorganisms produce toxins. So those toxins are given in the form of vaccines. Okay, and what will that do? It will boost your immunity. Your immune system will act against this weakened form, killed form of virus and bacteria, and your immunity will be strong. So whenever you get in contact, good, very good, Gaurav, you got vaccinated. So whenever you get contacted with that particular virus or bacteria, your body will immediately fight them. So that is how vaccines work. Yeah. So there are many vaccines that are available preventing a whole range of infectious diseases and provide disease specific means of prevention. So it is for particular disease also and there is a whole range of vaccines for that. For a whole range of diseases there are vaccines now. Okay. Good. A red or inactive cell of disease injected. Yes. Chandrahas, that is what it means. So here is a question. Explain why antibiotics do not work against viruses but work against many groups of bacteria. Now I just gave you an example. There are two different types of medicines, right? Okay. So tell me the answer. I'll wait for a minute. Read the question. Explain why antibiotics do not work against viruses. Antibiotics do not work against viruses. Good, Gautam. Second dose also completed. Very good. Okay, anyone? Okay, should I display the answer? Well, this is the answer. Antibiotics are the chemicals which usually block the biochemical pathways. Okay, bacteria is a living being. So there are biochemical pathways in the bacteria And antibiotics inhibits, that means it stops the growth of bacteria and kill them. But viruses are not living, isn't it? They are particles. When they are inside the body, they are living, but they are particles. They don't have any mechanism. They don't have any biochemical pathway. And because of that, antibiotic will not work against viruses. Viruses use host. That means if a virus is entering us, it will use our body's machinery to multiply themselves. And because of that, antibiotics cannot work against viruses. Only antivirals or vaccines can inhibit the viruses. Okay. So this should be your answer. I hope you understood this. Okay. So do you have any doubt? I'll wait for your doubts. Anyone? Any doubts? Did you understand this whole chapter? If you don't understand, you can ask me the questions over here. Okay, great. So see, this is the schedule for your one shots. We will be covering for 9th class. This is the schedule for one shot for science, math. Okay. And these are timings 6 to 8. Usually we will be having our lectures. So next session for math, biology is on 3rd Feb. Okay. Then this is the schedule for sample paper. Someone was asking about questions, right? The exam is coming. So this is the schedule for the sample papers. We will be covering for math and science over here. We will be having 2 sample papers. And we also have a schedule for coding for 9th. Okay, so this is the schedule. Keep tab of it and do attend this lecture. Okay, thank you from my side. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this session. See you in the next session again.